would think that red is the only color that you see during your period. That is normal. But sometimes red is not the only color that is normal. And depending on the shade of the red, it could either be normal or it could be abnormal, or could even mean something different, such as pregnancy. On today's video, we're going to be dissecting the different colors of blood that different women see during their period, the healthy ones and the unhealthy ones, and what to do when you see those ones that are unhealthy. My name is Nurse Goreti. I'm a registered nurse and midwife and also a public health nurse, and I create content about women's health, lifestyle and nursing. If you're interested in any of these topics, kindly hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel. The color of your period can indicate your health condition. It can indicate whether you are healthy or whether you are unhealthy. For instance, you could have a gray period, a gray colored period, which could indicate vaginal infection, or you could have orange color, which could indicate also vaginal infection. It all depends whether it's accompanied by another or other symptoms. During your menstruation, your body sheds uterine lining, as the lining of your uterus, and that is what causes the bleeding that you see as your period. Now, this bleeding, the color can vary from dark red to even bright red, depending on how old the blood is, because there could be retention of blood inside your uterus, so that when the next blood is flowing out, it could be dark red, really dark red, telling you that that blood has been quite old. It depends on how long the period blood have stayed in your system that will determine the shade of red it will come out with. First color I'm going to be talking about is black. Yes, I know you'll be like, black, so some women's period color is black. Yes, some women, they see black as their period color. Now let me tell you what happens. Why is your period black? Your period is black because the blood has been retained within your uterus for a very long period of time. So this blood has been acted upon by oxygen, or it has been oxidized, making the color to change over time. Black wasn't the initial color, but because of the prolonged period of time it has been in your system, it turned black. The color could have varied from bright red to dark red, and then before it changes to black. Black colored period could also be an indication that you have a blockage within your vagina that is preventing the blood from flowing out easily. If you are pregnant and you see a dark or a brown colored period, it could be an indication for miscarriage, or what we call ectopic pregnancy. It could be an indication of either of them. If you're pregnant and you see such colors of period, check in with your doctor. It may not be a good sign. The next color I'm going to be talking about is brown or dark red colored period. Now, these colors can occur as a result of a number of reasons. But the difference between brown or dark red and black is the time the blood has spent in the uterus. Black colored period have spent so much time within the uterus, while brown or dark red colored period they have spent time but have not spent as much time as a black colored period. Brown or dark colored period can occur at the beginning of your period or at the very end of your period. And the reason why you could have it is, number one, pregnancy. Pregnancy could be a reason why your period color is brown or dark colored, or what we call spotting. It could also be an early sign of pregnancy, which we call the implantation bleeding. If you're already pregnant and you're having a dark or brown colored period, it could also be an indication that you have a miscarriage, or that you have an ectopic pregnancy. One of the classical signs of ectopic pregnancy is dark or brown colored bloody discharge from the vagina. Another classification of period that you could see is what we call lochia. Lochia is the period that occurs after you have given birth. It's a postpartum bleeding that occurs when a woman has finished giving birth. And the color can vary from dark red to bright red, or from bright red to dark red, and even yellowish color. There are three types of lochia: the lochia rubra, the lochia serosa, and the lochia alba. These three types of lochia have three different colors, and they occur at different time periods. The lochia rubra is the first one, or the first stage. It's usually dark or bright red color, and usually have a kind of period symptoms. You could have cramps and all whatnot while this bloody discharge is occurring. It usually occurs in the first 3 to 4 days after you have given birth. You'll be having cramps, you'll be having heavy bleeding, and a lot of other period-like symptoms. That is the first stage of lochia. Second one is lochia serosa. The lochia serosa is a combination of both water and blood. It's not as heavy as the lochia rubra. It's not as heavy as that. It's usually pinkish color, pinkish, and could last for 4 to 12 days, and it's usually moderate. This blood could be accompanied with blood clots or with no blood clots, so it all depends. Alba is the last stage of lochia. It's usually yellowish white in color. There could be little to no blood when this discharge is occurring, and it usually lasts for a long period of time, for about 12 to 6 weeks. You could be seeing this type of discharge. It could also be called spotting, but this kind of spotting may or may not be accompanied with blood. It's just yellowish white in color. The next color that we'll be talking about is bright red. Bright red is totally normal. In short, most women experience bright colored period or bright red colored period throughout their period. For most women, it's like that, but for some other women, the color varies from bright red to dark red, which is still normal. It only becomes a problem when you have spotting, what we call spotting, or a bright red discharge in between your periods. You are having a bright red discharge or spotting. It's not normal to be having those kind of discharge in between your period. It's not normal. It could be an indication of a sexually transmitted disease such as chlamydia, such as gonorrhea. It could also be an indication that you have a growth in your uterus. By growth, for instance, a polyps or fibroid. But in a rare occasion, it could also be an indication of cervical cancer, especially if it's accompanied by any other symptom such as weight loss, such as pain in your lower back, such as heavier bleeding, or such as a prolonged period. If it's accompanied by any of those symptoms, it could be a direct indication that you could have cervical cancer, and you should definitely check it out. The next color is orange. You could be like, what's orange? Is it that there are women that their period blood color is orange? Yes, some women, they see orange colored period, and it's not a good sign. In most cases, it's not a good sign, but in some cases it may not be a bad sign also. Orange colored period could be an indication of, or could indicate the mixture of cervical fluids, that's fluids in your cervix, with your blood, forming that orange color. It could indicate that, but some other time, or most other time, it simply means that you have an infection such as bacterial vaginosis. So you should definitely go and check it out, especially if you have any other symptom such as vaginal itching or pain during urination. The next color is pink. Pink can occur as a result of mixture of cervical fluid with blood. It could lead to that pinkish color. But most women that experience pinkish blood or pinkish period are women that are on hormonal birth control, because this hormonal birth control results in lowering of the estrogen level. Your estrogen level is low, which leads in the production of this pinkish kind of blood. Also, sexual intercourse can cause tears in your vagina, which releases blood, and this blood mixes up with some vaginal fluid, resulting in some sort of pinkish colored blood. Other causes of pinkish blood could be anemia. So if you're anemic, your body is trying to reserve the blood that you even have. The kind of blood that you'll be having during your period will be pinkish in color. Also, if you had a significant weight loss, especially if the weight loss is not healthy, like you just drastically lost weight in an unhealthy way, you could also have a pinkish period. Another color is gray. Gray, it will be like, gray? Are there people that their period color is gray? Oh yes, there are people with gray period color, and this is a straight indication of bacterial vaginosis, especially if it's accompanied by vaginal itching or pains during urination, or even pains in your pelvic region or lower back. It's a straight indication of bacterial vaginosis, and you should definitely check it out. Your period is not supposed to be gray in color. In conclusion, the color of your period could be a straight indication of how healthy or how unhealthy you are. As we have outlined at the beginning of this video, the color of your period could be black, brown, dark red, pink, orange, and even gray. And these colors have their different interpretations and could have a significance or could signify how healthy or unhealthy you are. It could also mean pregnancy and or miscarriage. You should definitely check out those colors if you have any of them. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Thank you so much. I hope you got value in today's video, and if you did, definitely hit the subscribe button, subscribe to this channel. Let's keep building a community together. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye.